Hey guys, I just want to share something really cool today. My husband and I experienced for the first time what it's like to close on a property that we've been selling. It was a multi-property unit in New York, 3 units, and has great tenants in place. And yes, it feels great to have a huge payday, but this did not come easy. To say that we bled for this property left and right would be an understatement. Down to the very last day of closing, which was today, we had to put in $1,500 towards a chimney repair, even after we've already put in $7,000 of work to get this property ready for sale. Man, we learned a lot from owning this property for the last 4 years, and I'll expand on it a lot more later, but for now, I have 4 major takeaways from owning this property. Number 1, always do your due diligence in analyzing the property. When I started this journey of real estate a few years ago, I wasn't really well versed in it. It was just more of a gut feeling. I felt like this is going to be a good way to build wealth. I did not run any numbers. I did not analyze the property. It just felt good. It was in a good area, so we jumped right in. So yeah. No analysis was done, but was my gut feeling right? Absolutely. The property has appreciated and we're definitely making a good amount of profit from it. But the last 4 years of owning it has been torture, including one time where we had to pay about $30,000 of repairs in a 3-month time span. And it happened right in the middle of when my husband was laid off from work and did not work for 3 months. Ouch. That was very, very difficult. So analyze. Overestimate your expenses, underestimate your income, and always be clear on what your investing metrics are so that you don't get emotional or get swayed by a deal that kind of works. Number 2, treat your real estate investments as a business. If you're going to manage the property yourself, which we did from thousands of miles away, make sure that you create a boundary for yourself and not become friends with your tenants. We absolutely loved our tenants and we did not increase their rent, not even once, even though we were in the negative for quite some time. We just kept swallowing up all the expenses and trusting that it will all somehow even out at some point. And while it did even out, and not just even out, we are making a profit off of it. This is just not how you run a business. If you want your real estate investing business to grow, it needs to be a well-oiled machine that has systems in place, including a good property manager who is not attached to the tenants. Number 3, never spend the capital. I read this from a book called Set for Life by Scott Trench, and he listed this as one of the principles of building wealth. Basically, as a quick example, let's say you have $100. You invested it and a year later you got $200 back. So you had 100% return on your investment. Person A takes all of that $200 back and went on a big shopping spree, which wouldn't matter if she's like me because I would still feel like I have nothing to wear. So now she's left with nothing to invest anymore. Now person B takes the $100 return on investment and then keeps the $100 in their capital and keeps reinvesting it. Your capital is the money that makes you the money. So again, your capital is the money that makes you the money. So important to learn this very, very early on in your investing career. If you spend it, you'll be left with nothing to invest. But this brings me to point number 4 that way more relates directly to real estate investing. So you did not spend your capital money, but then you allowed the IRS to take your money. Number 4 takeaway is don't let the IRS take your money. When you sell a property that you did not live in, meaning it's not owner occupied, the IRS will take 15 to 20% off of your profits. This is called capital gains tax. Now, if you absolutely need that cold hard cash, of course, take it, but know that it will be taxed a hefty amount. Thanks to biggerpockets.com, where I learned a whole lot of these things and also came across a thing called 1031 exchange, which is section 1031 of the IRS code. It allows us to legally defer the taxes and roll it over to a like-kind property. I'll explain this more in detail in another video because just like anything with the IRS, this is a pretty difficult process. But basically, I get to keep all of my profit and roll it over into the new investment. And I can do this over and over again as I sell a property and buy another one, essentially growing my real estate portfolio. At some point, of course, I do have to pay this, but if I choose not to, I can leave my properties as an inheritance to my heir so that when I die, they get this thing called a stepped up basis, which is a legal tax law that says that all my capital gains tax are forgiven, wiped out, and my heirs can have the properties at its fair market value upon my death. That's pretty darn cool. So anyway, those are my 4 takeaways. Thank you for listening. I will be sharing more as I go through my real estate investing journey, and I hope that you are learning a lot from my little vlogs.